Hello and welcome to another video from Motor's Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that's now quite old. It's become very collectible and is becoming more and more difficult to find, especially in any condition, really. We are looking at the 1975 release by World Distributors from their Black Beauty series of annuals. And this particular one we're looking at today is the 1976 annual, and it was based on the highly popular Black Beauty, or the Adventures of Black Beauty television series, which ran from 1972 to 1974. So Black Beauty was basically a British family adventures television series. It was produced by London Weekend Television, and it was shown by ITV in the United Kingdom between 1972 and 1974, and it was distributed international by London Weekend International. So the series was not an adaptation of the Anna Sewell story from 1872, but it was a continuation of that story, if you like. But it did feature new characters created by Ted Willis. Most prominently was Dr. James Gordon, who was the main star of the show. And he was played by William Lucas. And his children, which was Vicky, and she was played by Judy Bowker, who became Jenny, played by Stacey Dornan in the second series. And Kevin, played by Roderick Shaw. Lots of supporting actors included Dr. Gordon's law housekeeper, Amy Winthorpe, and the local boy, Albert Clifton. And the series ran, well, it was very popular. It ran for 2 seasons. There was a total of 52 episodes, each episode running for 25 minutes. Now, it did only run for 2 seasons, though, and ended in 1974, but it was rerun regularly throughout the 1970s on television. I think it was on ITV, mainly on Sunday evenings. I think it was rerun. And then, of course, due to the popularity, the New Adventures of Black Beauty came back in 1990, and again ran for 2 seasons, again with most of the same cast that was in the original one, with the exception of Kevin, I think, as apparently Kevin had left and gone off to be a midshipman or something like that. Can't remember exactly, but yeah. So 2 seasons of the New Adventures, but this is the Adventures of Black Beauty we're looking at today, and this is the annual in front of us, and it says Black Beauty Annual 1976, and there is an image of Black Beauty at the front there, and there's an image of Jenny with Beauty, and it's got authorised edition based on the popular television series from London Weekend Television. Okay, that's the front of the cover. Let's spin it over. And on the back, we've got that lovely image of Beauty galloping on the meadow. And it's got Black Beauty Annual 1976. Nice image there. Looks like you're looking for a hole in the fence, which is really nice and original. Quick look at the spline. Black Beauty Annual 1976, World Distributors there as well. Okay, let's open it up and let's have a look inside. Okay, so I've opened the book, and there we can see some artwork images of the characters. I think there's Albert and Ned there, and Jenny and Dr. Gordon, and I can't remember his name actually, but he was the squire, I think. Black Beauty Annual 1976. So the contents, we've got stories: Five for Silver, Harvest Home, Into the Night, Excitement on Market Day, Beauty to the Rescue, Lost, and Snakes and Scarabs. And you've got features are Double Talk, Horse Facts and Fancies, Horseshoes, Horse Law and the Horseman's Word, Statues on Horseback, Record-Breaking Horses, Nothing New About Newmarket, Ponies of Britain, What Do You Know, The Ways of a White Horse, Black as Beauty, Horse Tales, All Kinds of Horses, Horses in Rhyme, A Horsey Crossword, and Horses Around the World. And you've got the copyright 1975 by LWT Publications Limited and Talbot Television Limited. All rights reserved throughout the World, and published in Great Britain by World Distributors Manchester Limited, and printed in Great Britain by Jarrett and Sons Limited, Norwich. And the SBN number 7235031176. And you will notice that this particular annual has been price clipped. There would have been a little triangle on the bottom there with the price of the time, but it has been cut away, I'm sad to say. Okay, off we go. So the first story we have is called 5 for Silver, and that is a story with colour illustrations. It looks like these, colour photographs, I should say. It looks like these photographs are taken direct from the television series, and they are. And this story runs for 2, 4, 5 pages. And then we come on to one of the first feature, which is Double Talk. Here are some horsey expressions which have another meaning as well as more obvious ones. A donkey's breakfast. This is a merchant navy term for a straw-filled mattress. An ass with 2 panniers. A laughing expression given to a man who escorts 2 ladies at the same time, one on each arm. To ride the horse with 10 toes. This is another way of saying that a person has to walk. Here's the horse with the 10 toes, and so on. There's a few more there, we won't read them all. Horse facts and fancies. So the age of a horse, thrice the age of a dog is that of a horse, but thrice the age of a horse is that of a man. Interesting. So a few facts there on horses on those 2 pages. And then we come to the next story, which is again a full story with colour photographs. And it looks like they've come straight from the TV series. So this one's called Harvest Home, and that runs for 2, 4. There's Beauty for 5 pages again. And there's Dr. Gordon getting on Beauty, and then it goes into artwork images. The same story continues though for another page. And then we come on to horseshoes, horse law, and the horseman's word. And again, that's an article on about those subjects we've just mentioned. Statues on horsebacks, and that goes through some of the famous statues on horseback throughout the United Kingdom. Record-breaking horses that have broken loads and loads of records, obviously, speaks for itself. The next story is Into the Night, and it's a monocolour story. Full story with monocolour artwork images. And that runs, that looks more like photographs, but they're monocolour photographs. So we run for 1, 2, 3, and then we're on black and white photographs. And it's 4 and 5. And 6 pages. That one goes back to monocolour again. Nothing new about Newmarket, and that is a little tips on ponies of Britain and the types of ponies. And then we have What Do You Know? Here's a quiz to see how much you know about famous horses, real and fiction, and there's the quiz there, so the answers are on page 60. Next story is Excitement on Market Day, and it's a full story with photographic illustrations again. And there's Albert, Ned, Kevin and Jenny sitting at the dining table, or breakfast table maybe. And this one story runs for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. And that's the last one there with Jenny on the back of Beauty. The Ways of a White Horse. I think that speaks for itself. Black as Beauty. Black Beauty certainly is, but you know, where is the black country? Why a black doll was once on display in a marine store. Who or what is Black Rod? And so on. And the answer on page 60 again. Next story, Beauty to the Rescue. Again, it's a full story with colour photographs again from the TV series. And that runs for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. And then we come on to Horsey Tales. And then All Kinds of Horses. And again, that's questions and answers there. Horses in Rhyme. I had an ivory manager and drank from a golden pail. I was even made a consul and wear jewels in my tail. Who am I? Good question. Answers on page 60. Next story is called Lost, and this has got kind of like monocolour photographs again, and monocolour illustrations. And this runs for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, and that brings us to the horsey crossword. Now the horsey crossword has been completed, but it is in ink, I'm afraid, so it can't be rubbed out, but it's there, it's done. But what do you expect from something at this age? And then the final story, I think, is called Snakes and Scarabs, and this is again a full story with monocolour illustrations or photographs, I should say, and black and white ones as well. It runs for 5 pages, and then we got the answers to all the questions here, and horses around the world, which is the final thing inside the back covers. Okay, that is the annual. Now you're going to say to me, well, how well did these annuals do back in 1976 or late 75? Well, as with any popular television program, they all spawned annuals back in the day. There was no such things as videos, DVDs, live streaming, internet, anything like that. So in order to enjoy your favourite programs when they wasn't being broadcast, was things like annuals, activity books, games, puzzles, those kinds of things. The annuals were a very, very big part of that. Staple diet, come Christmas, every year, in your Christmas stocking or in your Christmas sack, you would receive 1, 2, 3, maybe different annuals of your favourite TV series, your favourite football team, your favourite pop stars, and so on. So big business annuals were back really from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and to some extent the early 90s until the boom had gone. And obviously that was due to the fact that how television had changed, and you can view whatever you want, whenever you want these days. But it was very, very different back in the day. So every popular series, every popular pop star, every popular football team, even some of the toys spawned their own annuals, like Barbie had her own annuals, Action Man had their own annuals, and so on. So lots and lots of different annuals, very, very big business at the time. And yes, pretty much every single one would have done remarkably well. Despite the fact that this TV series had finished a couple of years prior, but it was still being shown on reruns. So it was still a concurrent television series at the time. So yes, done very well, would have sold many, many copies, and they were mass produced back in the day. Much bigger quantities than they are these days. Okay, let's move forward to 2025, which is where we are today. So we're moving forward 49 years since this, or 50 years actually, since this annual was produced, because it was produced in late 1975 for the upcoming 1976 year. So they tend to release the annuals September, October, November time, so they're in time for the Christmas rush, and they're always released prior to the year they're representing. So moving forward, do these come up for sale very often on the platforms? Well, annuals were massively produced back in the day, and so yes, they do have a tendency to come up semi-regular on the platforms, some more than others. Black Beauty, well, they don't seem to come up as often as you would have expected. I'm not quite sure. Well, how many annuals were produced for Black Beauty? Well, over the course of the years, there was 10 annuals produced. You had 1973, 1974, 1975, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, and then the final annual was produced in 1985. So they didn't produce any annuals when the TV series was done again. So when it became the New Adventures of Black Beauty, there wasn't any annuals produced after that. But there was 10 annuals produced, 9 of them in consecutive years from 1973 through to 1981, and then 4 years later, 1985, when the last one was produced. I presume they had a big surge on reruns in 84, which prompted the release of a new annual in 85. But yeah, so quite popular, but they don't seem to come up very often on the platforms these days. None of them do, in actual fact. When they do come up, they're usually bought quite quickly. So if Black Beauty is something that you're interested in, and you do find one of the platforms, I suggest you don't hang around. Grab it while it's there, because they're not normally around for very long. But the age-old thing, of course, buying on the platform, be a bit vigilant, because somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable condition. There's a big scope of differences there between people's opinions. And also some of the platforms use stock images and stock descriptions, so you could be looking at a mint new annual and reading the text of a mint new annual. However, if there's no new ones, and there won't be any new ones really for something that's 50 years old, so it will automatically go to the cheapest used item, and that may have lots of flaws and damage and maybe something that you don't want. So if it doesn't say new and it says used, click that use link and read what you're about to order, so you don't order something that you don't want. Because of course it won't be the fault of the seller, and it's not the fault of the buyer, obviously. It's just the way the platforms you work, so do be a little bit careful. Now, alternatively, you can come to us and Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles, where what you see in front of you is exactly the item you'd receive should you wish to purchase it. And this particular item is no different to that. And you can only order the item you're looking at the time on our platform. You can't order anything else on our website, I should say. You can't order anything else. It is the item you're looking at. So you can't order something that's not being viewed at the time. But of course, you can add it to your basket and then go on and look for other items. It's entirely up to you. But the point being is that the item that you're looking at is the item that you will receive should you wish to order. And this particular item, as of today, it is available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get there very simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website, or you'll be able to find this and many other vintage annuals. And many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you're looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned. Keep watching, because you never know the next items we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you enjoy reviewing this wonderful vintage Black Beauty annual with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.